Up next, we're going to take all this space below this beautiful second story deck and we're going to turn it into a nice living space, outdoor living area, so it's somewhere that you can go and hang out when it's raining or if you have more company. First things first, we're using a laser level and we're marking our lines all the way across. We're going to be marking our level lines, leveling all the way across, and then we're going to be changing that number to add pitch in both directions. We're going to be pouring concrete on half of this, and we're going to be putting stone on the other half of this. We're marking our mark with a blue chalk line so we can see it. We're marking this level. We're going to measure down 2 inches from there, as you can see our second string line, and that is how much pitch we're going to have. Now we're getting rid of all the grass that was in there. We're just using a rake just to get the grass off and a shovel, and we're going to dig down. We set our outside form. We're using 2x4 forms, but we're going below. We're going to have at least 6 inches of concrete in here. The great thing about this space, first we have rubberized membrane, rubberized expansion joint we're putting up. We use rubberized now because it doesn't deteriorate like tar and felt did in the past. Now we're going to check our 3, 4, 5 right triangle. Now the good thing about this space is above we have a gutter system so that no rainwater ever makes it to here. It's a completely no rain gets in area, so we can have nice couches, what have you, perfect for living space. Now we got our rototiller and we are digging our sidewalk. We're going to have a rounded service walk that's going to tie into our landing from the deck. This is going to be formed out with Lawan plywood cut into 4-inch strips. We're also going to have a rubberized expansion joint along that existing piece of concrete that we did not pour. Now we have our plate tamper. We're going around a ton of times in this dirt. We want to compact it completely. We're going to go over and over and over and over again. Next up is concrete. And we're back at you with part 2 of the outdoor living space build. Again, this is going to be entirely under the deck to utilize all the extra space. This is going to be done the most cost-conscious way because the homeowner has sunk a fortune into the deck above and wants to just do this to utilize the space the best way possible. She prefers concrete over pavers or bluestone or anything fancy, so we're just going to be pouring concrete. This is a 3-yard pour. We're going to cut this in half, to some people's dismay. We're going to be pouring half now. This is 4,000-pound concrete with fiber mesh reinforcement. The fibers fuse together and basically takes the price or the place of wire mesh, It's also 6 inches thick. It has pitch running in both directions. We're pouring, jitterbugging, and leveling it out as we go. Next, we put our bull float on. This is similar to a mag float. We mag float all the edges all the way around, and then we hit our bull float or large magnesium float. And all we're doing with this is knocking down any humps, bumps, getting it smooth, bringing the cream to the top. We then go back with our mag trowel or mag float and hit again from the edges in, and then we put just our rough edge in and we let it sit. Now it's broken up into 2 pours, 3 yards each, did a short load truck, and we're going to be putting some oil on the end of this where the new concrete will meet it, so we have what's called a cold joint. And we'll get into that later. Now we're hitting it entirely with our trowel. We're floating it out with our steel trowel. We're getting down all the humps, bumps, and lumps and making it perfectly flat. I don't say level because, like I said, there's pitch in both directions. Once we get that done, time to screw in what's called our speed trowel, which is just a large steel trowel with a handle that allows us to go much faster. We go over and over multiple times, bring the cream to the top, knock down every hump and bump, make it perfectly flat. You want it to be as flat as possible so that when you go to put your broom finish on, it will look clean and pristine. Here it is, going one-handed for you guys. You can see it up close. You see it puts a little bit of a line in, but then you get it right out with the next pass. You go back and forth all the way down. Now we're going to try to see if it's dry enough to use our broom. One pass through, we can tell it's too wet. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our steel trowel floated out, and then we're going to do the brooming again. We waited another 25 minutes until it was better. Now we're doing all of our brooming in this direction because this is where we have the most pitch, and this is where our drainage is going to be set up. So we want everything to run mainly to underneath this side, and it's going to be all stone on that side of the deck. So we're going to do concrete here, concrete in front, and then the other side is going to be a very decorative stone. We'll have a video on how to do that as well. So now we're just doing our brooming, making it all look clean and pristine. Again, you want a rough finish, and that's what the broom does. It gives us a rough finish for traction for outdoor areas. Even though it's under cover and there is gutter system above to catch anything from the deck above, wind can blow rain underneath, and you just don't want it to be too slick. You don't want anybody to slip. This is going to be all covered entirely with furniture anyway. Part 3 will be up next, where we are going to be finishing the completion of this project. Thanks for watching. And we're back with the highly anticipated third part of the outdoor living space build. Again, we said we were forming our cold joint, which we are spraying and painting on WD-40 all over. This oil will make it a natural cold joint, so the concrete will never adhere to each other. We want a cold joint all the way through because concrete will crack. We're forcing a crack to happen here. Again, this is 4,000 PSI concrete reinforced with fiber mesh. Fiber mesh takes the place of wire mesh and it fuses together. We just hit everything with our bull float after getting it down with our jitterbug. Now we put a rough edge all the way around. All we're doing right now is getting the rocks down, getting the humps down, and shaping. It is nowhere near dry. Concrete is a process. You have to know when to do each step based on feel, tackiness, what have you. But as soon as you pour it, you have to shape it a bit. And we never pour wet. Someone in the comments said that 4,000 pound concrete is extremely wet concrete. It is not. It has nothing to do with how much water's added. It's how much Portland's added, and we never add water on the site. We do not pour soupy concrete. We like to pour our concrete stiff because it sets faster. A little bit harder to work with, but it sets faster, always worth it. Now here's our rounded sidewalk that meets our landing from our deck platform. I was told this is stupid too, but this is what connects the deck to this patio under the deck. Excuse me. Again, this was a completely cost-conscious project because of all the money that went to the deck above. So we're going with concrete here is what the homeowner wanted. They did not want pavers. They did not want bluestone. They wanted concrete. Again, we put our rough finish on, aka our broom finish, because we want traction. Even though no water will come from above, water will blow in from the outside. You need traction so it's anti-slip. Now we're hitting it with our speed trowel or finish trowel / steel trowel. That's what we're hitting with here. Now we're fine tuning. You know when to do this because it's basically hard at this point. You're not leaving any marks with your trowel. You're getting out any marks that are there, so when you go to put on your broom finish, it's as close to flat as possible and it won't see any imperfections when you finish it. You go over the area many times. Then you take out your steel trowel, hand trowel. Here's a pull trowel, and we go over all of our edges and anything that the big steel trowel couldn't reach, and this little small one, we're just going to go ahead and do the whole thing. Now here's your look before you finish. It's all down, it's flat, no humps, bumps, or lumps, and it's time to do our finish. We're using our broom finish. Again, this is for traction. It's mandatory to do on all outdoor applications. You don't want a smooth finish. It is then slick as can be and nothing but a trip hazard once there's water. Now, as you can see, how we're brooming. We're brooming from the house out, actually towards the house, because we want our grain to go that way. That's where we have the most pitch. It's pitched in both directions, but the most pitch comes from that direction. We want the water to run off that way. Now, I saw there was complaints about drainage. The whole right side is going to be stone, and all the drainage is going to be tucked under there and run out the side of the deck. Here you can see we're going over our edge. You have to go over it many times. You also have to add some water when the concrete is setting to make the edge a little bit better. Then you have to tamp down on the edger. Just compact it down. Make sure you're getting all rocks down. You don't want any rocks out of the top because the rocks will end up creating a surface where the concrete can flake off. Now we're just double edging on the side of our cold joint. This is where the two patios meet together. Now this concrete will fade out white. The other one was poured just the day before and it's already turned white. They will both turn white and match. They bleach naturally within a couple days. Again, always go over your edges until you're satisfied with them. Tamp down as you go when you need to. Also, this has a ceiling height of over 10 foot, so anyone who said this was too shallow or not high enough is crazy. Here is our look with the concrete down and the finish on. Now, as you can see, this is like 22 by 16 just for the concrete. Now we have our stone on the right side. I'm going to show you how we did all the stone in our last and final part, which will be out tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And we're back with the final phase of our outdoor living space build. We're getting the 3/4 inch Delaware River Rock stone delivered.
Now we're leaving them basically a blank canvas for them to come in. They're going to be adding their couches, their seating, their TV, their fans, their LED lights, what have you. We're putting our filter fabric down. As you guys can see, always hose your stone down once it's delivered. It completely changes in color. There's all dirt and dust and debris all over it. You got to hose it down to get the true color. Your homeowner's going to look at it and say, that's not what I picked. You clean it, and then they'll quickly realize it is. Now, when spreading filter fabric, you know it never fails to be windy. So you have to weight some of the areas down with stone and then spread more and then bring in more stone and spread as you go. I wanted to put all the filter fabric down, then do the stone. The wind simply wouldn't allow that. As you can see here where they did some of their piers, the concrete is above the sidewalk area, so I have to just make mounds and kind of let it go down and make it appear decorative. This is the border they picked out. Cutting it by hand. Hopefully TikTok allows the hand tools. They don't allow the power tools for views anymore, so we switched up to hand tool to get it on there. Put it in, and we're going to plumb level and square those as we do them.
As per the downspouts, they weren't done by us, and they are being moved and rerouted underneath the stone as explained in previous videos. Also, this stone base and bedding that's all over here serves as an excellent area for drainage for under the deck, as our patio is going to have drainage this way and to the front, and there's over 6 inches, probably 8 inches of stone in a lot of parts. Now we're going to water our stone and see if it grows more stone. Just kidding. Again, we're cleaning it to get the nice look. You can see the difference in color once it gets entirely clean. There's so much area for activity, and they have so much planned. It's going to look great when they get all their furniture in here, and they can truly make it an outdoor living space with a nice TV, a bar. I mean, you can do literally whatever you want. Now, that particular downspout is going to be turned around and run the other way under the stone, and all the stone also doubles as a drainage pit. So it's excellent. It's decorative and drainage. Perfect. Base also has to go around those columns. Thank you for watching, everyone.